Crystal Palace hadn't lost at Selhurst Park since February. They faced Manchester United, whose recent revival suffered a slap in the face against Everton on Monday.
Do to turn that game around?
Explains small things, but I think it was clear that just the pace, the intensity of the game, we have to increase that. I also noticed in the end of the first half, and I told that to the players, that they were tired, and you can feel it, and they will drop. If we score a goal, mentally they will suffer.
What are the things that you do to make the most of that?
It's the runs, and you can feel it that Josh was not just connecting the ball, was also to making the runs. We win a second ball. They have more difficulties to recover from pressing and then recover for the second half, for the second ball, and just explain that to the players, and we took advantage quite well in the second half.
Tell me about the quality of both of those goals though from Zirkzee and Mount.
No, unbelievable goals. Obviously, I think the Josh one, I didn't even thought he could score from there. It was a hell of a strike.
I think if you play the first time in your history European football, then you should invest and not save. I think January is too late. It's then we have played more than 50% of our games. Isma, we lost him today with an injury, and also he goes to AFCON. So everything we are facing now, it's not surprisingly. So everything was pretty clear, and I always really didn't say anything. But today, I think it's also time to speak about it. That we missed the chance to play even a better season in the summer.
Well, of course, we are going to talk about Oliver Glasner's comments, but I want to go back to what Ruben Amorim said about Manchester United. He said that he spotted the tiredness in Crystal Palace and told his players how to exploit that weakness. Just run us through, Alan, what they weren't getting right in the first half and what they needed to change in the second.
Well, you watch what happens in the first half in terms of a lack of effort, a lack of running, a lack of commitment, a lack of closing down. Crystal Palace on the ball, no pressure from Manchester United. One through ball beats 3 or 4 Manchester United players, and the tackle here is hopeless from De Ligt, and they're straight through simply because the application wasn't there, the intensity wasn't there, the aggression wasn't there. You got far too much time on the ball, Crystal Palace. You give good players time and they're gonna punish you, and they get into some really good positions. Same thing again. Look at the time Wharton's got on the ball. 3, 4, 5 touches before anyone even gets close to him. Then Kamada on the edge of the box. Look, there's no one near him. That should be in the back of the net. And all of a sudden, Amorim gets into his team at half-time. What's the difference in the second half? I mean, that is clear. The running is clear. The closing down is clear. The commitment is clear. That it is so much better in the second half. Where was this in the first half? And that's exactly what the manager's on about at the end of the game. That's why he was having a pop with his players at half-time, because this was not happening in the first half. Okay, once they get through, well, look at they actually win the second ball. It seems they're much more up for that fight in the second half, and they get the rewards. Look, there's no time for any Crystal Palace player to get on the ball because there's always 2 or 3 players in and around them. I mentioned the second ball. What's the reaction when they lose it? I didn't see that in the first half. Man United fans didn't see that in the first half, and then all of a sudden they play on the front foot, they lose the ball. Look at that, the difference from the forward players, who would then all of a sudden chase them back. And absolutely, because Crystal Palace played in Europe on Thursday evening, Man United had the full week to prepare. They didn't. They played on Monday evening. That should have happened from the off. They got away with it today, but you have to give him credit for the way he changed it and the way he got stuck into his players at half-time, because they were a different team in the second half.
Yeah, as Alan said, and as Oliver Glasner alluded to as well, one of the reasons that they spotted that tiredness in Crystal Palace is because they do have this intense run of fixtures. And this is what they've done after European games this season. Just the one win, and that was against Aston Villa, when Villa were playing really poorly at the start of the season and struggling to get results. It's been difficult for them to kind of to absorb those extra fixtures without, as Oliver Glasner said, really going in and investing in their squad, and having lost big name players as well, Micah.
Yeah, I mean, the summer business, where Pino was very good, but if you just look up here, they made a profit in the summer, and when you're losing Eze and Ward and it was released, but in terms of a structure in the dressing room, Francia, Schlupp and Edouard, and that's all you bring in. I mean, as a manager, you're thinking, I've won the FA Cup, I deserve a little bit more, and the fans are all thinking that the same thing as well. But you have to be realistic as well. If you look where Palace are in the league this season, what they've done last season, who they can attract, I think that was a statement from the manager saying, give me what I want, or I'm going to walk out at the end of the season because his contract's up.
And you can see there, 11 changes, which is the fewest of any side in the Premier League so far this season. Does it feel like a row that he's now having publicly?
Yeah, well, he's come out and said that. He said himself that he'd kept quiet for such a long time, and I guess he's got it in the bank because of the success they had last season. I think they're a very, very good team. They're a very good 11. But once you get through that 11 and you're going to get injuries and you're playing on Thursdays and Sundays, that is a big ask for those same players to keep going again and again and again. And clearly they can't do it.
There was one other thing you wanted to talk about from this game, which was the appearance of an old friend.
Some old guy made an appearance on our TV this afternoon. Happy birthday to him. I was going to say he looks like a pensioner, and I thought he actually is one.
Got his free bus pass.
Free bus pass there, yeah.
To the stadium.
So rude.
He's looking well, though, at least. He's looking great. Happy birthday, guys.
You're looking for. Now, Wolves boss Rob Edwards made his Premier League.
Well, they will try and build on that win in that next match against West Ham. After that, it's Wolves and Bournemouth, Peter. Do you feel they've got another opportunity coming up to build some momentum again?
Yeah, there's a real good run of games now for Manchester United. And like you say, we're in and around it again now. And if they can build a run of 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, then it really puts them back in the mix. I mean, they all winnable games there, especially for a club like Manchester United, you'd expect. Where
do you think this squad is capable of finishing this season, Joel?
I don't think they can finish top 4. I don't think there's enough depth. But I think from Bruno's perspective, if they finish 7th and above, I think it's a really, really good season for them, an improvement. Because last year, you have to remember, they was wanting this group of players, and there's been some good signings coming in, but I think 7th and above, Linz, I think will be good.
We spoke about the lack of attacking depth as well, didn't we, at half time? But with the Africa Cup of Nations coming up, and Burmo and Ahmad would be heading off, also they'd lose Mazraoui as well. Do you think that could have a serious impact on them? Yeah, I do. Burmo especially, I think he's such a good player. He's been a great signing for them. Do worry for them. I think obviously we're building a little bit of momentum now, but I don't think they're good enough to get into the top 4. And a club like Manchester United for 2 years on the spin to not get into Europe would be a travesty, really. Yeah. And I think so. What they have to look at is getting in the Europa League, and anything above that would be a bonus for where they are now, I think. Are you seeing proper progress now under Amorim?
I think you're seeing incremental progress. Like if you look at the positives, you look at the set pieces. Very good. I thought there's character there. They win in a tricky away game, so it's incremental. Nothing.
A big response to Monday's disappointment. Joe and Crouchy watching with me, and Palace were deserving of their lead at half-time, but Manchester United just a different side in the second half. Crouchy and Joshua Zirkzee. I think a lot of Man United fans perhaps would have had him off at half-time.
Yeah, like I said, I said at half-time, I just want more from him, because he walked past us. I look at the size of him, and I think, you can bully defenders. Mateta was doing it first half, and Zirkzee wasn't. He is a frustration at times, because there's a player in there somewhere, and I think he can, with Bruno Fernandes's deliveries as well, I think he can get on the end of it a little bit more, and some of his hold-up play needs to be a little bit better. But this was fantastic. It was obviously from the training ground, because Bruno knew exactly where he was going to be. He actually found himself offside, Zirkzee. You see here, way offside, and it's a great place to be, because the defenders can't get hold of you, they can't get hold of your shirt, they can't muscle you. You can make that run kind of almost free, really. And what he did here was he took his time. I mean, this isn't a goal from a player who hasn't scored in a year, because he lets it bounce a couple of times, takes his time, and what a finish, Joe. Yeah, it's a fantastic finish. What he done really well there on the second bounce is the patience he took. Like Crouchy said, it's not a player who's not scored in a year. Looked very, very composed.
Looked confident, didn't he? Do you need him just further forward, not dropping deep as much?
Yeah, aggression. And then sometimes when you're a forward and you're not getting amongst the goals, your tendency sometimes is to drop deeper, get touches. You need to be more aggressive. You could be the biggest lad and the strongest lad in the world, but be aggressive. Be forceful. Get yourself hurt. If he does all them things, his quality will come out and he will score goals.
Yeah, as a centre forward at times, if you're not getting the ball, you got a tendency to come short, and I think that's what he does. He wants to get involved in the play, and then you don't find yourself higher up, and you're not going to score goals from that deep position. I think he definitely did it well in the second half.
And then the second goal came from the free kick. Gay was deemed to have fouled Dallo for this free kick. Did you think it was a foul?
I think so. I mean, you can say that he can't really get out of the way, but I do think it was a foul. It was another well worked goal.
Yeah, he bought the foul. I thought it was a foul, and then that's fantastic play from Fernandes and Mount. Two very intelligent players, and I know there was a little bit of confusion from the bench, and there was the Wolves clearly talking to Henderson. They wasn't happy. Fernandes recognises that, rolls it, and it's a wonderful strike. Henderson just gets a bit flat-footed there, but it's right in the bottom corner. It bounces just in front of him.
I think when you take that quick one, it causes panic, and the wall breaks. You feel gaps, and as soon as you move it that little couple of yards, it's enough to create havoc with the wall.
Man United, 10 set-piece goals now, joint most with Arsenal, excluding penalties. They've been really strong in that area, Joel.
Yeah, you have to give the manager credit and his staff. He's come under a lot of fire because he's Manchester United manager, and the results haven't been deemed to be where they should be. But that's a positive. To be up there with Arsenal, everyone's been, patting Mikel Arteta on the back, and it's been brilliant from their end as well. But fair play to Manchester United. When you got Bruno's delivery and you got people like Maguire, Casemiro heading it, you don't need to be a rocket scientist, and be clever of putting people all places, and they've got that.
And Mason Mount said to Jules in the interview at the end, he wasn't sure when he'd last played 90 minutes for Man United. That's actually the first time he's completed 90 minutes for Manchester United. In the Premier League, is it just great to see him fit and doing well like this, Peter?
Yeah, I mean, this is the frustration, and we know Mason well, and he's such a talent. He's such a great player, and it wasn't long ago he found himself in the England squad. He was... can he get back to that? And it's only about fitness. It's not about talent, and that will go some way to helping him today.
Yeah, that's it. Listen, Lindsay, it's not talent, it's not desire, it's not quality. It's just will his body hold up? Because if his body holds up, he's as good as a player in that position that we've got. He really and Thomas Tuchel really likes him. You have to remember it's a Champions League winner at Chelsea in that exact model that Thomas may like to play at sometimes. So, listen, great to see him back. Really good, and he was very, very good today.
Congratulations, guys. How much did you need that after Monday night and to get a win on the road as well? Because they've not come easy for United this season.
Yeah, we've not found it easy away from home this season. Obviously, a very difficult result in the last game, so we know we needed to bounce back, and that's what we spoke about before the game. I thought we showed good character to come back, obviously, after the 1-0 down first half. So it was about reacting in the change room second half, and I thought we did that really good. We come out and we were at it.
Joshua, your first Premier League goal in almost a year, and you absolutely thumped it in as well. How much of a relief was it to see that go in?
Yeah, great feeling. It's always a good feeling to score, but most importantly, just got us back into the game, and this guy scored in a pretty good goal as well after. So it was all about 3 points today, and just very happy that we got him. So very important.
The manager has spoken about the pressure of playing for Manchester United. How much have you felt that in that period of time without a goal?
I mean, it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and you have to perform. So if you don't score for a long time, it could get to you. But I'm surrounded by great players, great people, and we help each other every day. So they made it quite easy for me. And today is just a reward, I think, for patience, hard work, trying to be consistent, and I'm just thankful to them, manager as well, staff, everyone. So. Yeah, good environment.
Mason, I know you're desperate to play more and to stay fit. How are you feeling this season?
I'm feeling good. The win obviously was massive today, but also for me to play the full game. I can't remember, I haven't done that in a while, so I've been feeling really, really good recently. No problem. So I'm enjoying my football. and when you have days like this in front of the fans like this, so it makes it all worth it.
Well done, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Commiserations. How did you see that game, and how did your team let the lead slip away?
Yeah, tough defeat. When you lose the game with 2 set plays, it makes it tough. So 3 of the last 4 goals we conceded from set plays, 3 free kicks. We were not sharp enough, and also especially the second goal was terrible. I watched it back. It took us too long to get into the formation, and then also I think 3 players from the wall just run out. I don't know why we are doing this, but we did. And then we that's why we lost the game at the end. I have seen us, especially in the first half, better than Man United. In the second half, of course, when you concede then two quick goals, then we could see the energy level is not top after the tight schedule we have. But again, it feels not really deserved. It hurts. Of course, we know we should have done better in a few moments, but at the end, we have to accept it.
Crystal Palace haven't won any of the Premier League games after Thursday night matches in Europe. How can you address that? Because you said yourself it felt like the energy levels sort of slipped in the second half.
I think that's what we missed in summer, definitely, and I never talked about it until now. But everything that happens was pretty clear, and if you play the first time in your club's history European football, I think the right answer is invest and not save, and we saved, and that's what we are facing now. It's the players, this group of players giving everything every single day, but I think this group of players didn't get the right support, and but I know we will stick together. We will work hard to get this, to change this. We're still in very good positions, but again, I think this is what the chance to play even a better season we threw away in summer.
One of your key players, Ismail Assar, had to come off injured in the match with the African Cup of Nations just around the corner as well. Could that affect his departure?
I don't know. So the ankle is quite swollen now. We know that we will miss him for a couple of weeks. Now it looks like we miss him for more weeks. Yeah, it's tough because we have no profile like him. That's what what I'm talking about, and all this is not surprisingly that this will happen, or not the injury, but that he goes to AFCON, and it's just we have the right profile in the squad to add this to our squad, we have to deal with it. We will find solutions, but again, I think missed opportunity is not just today in the game.
We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oliver Glasner talking about what the club missed in the summer, says he hasn't really discussed it until now. Do you feel like he has been let down, Peter, and not being given the depth to handle both competitions?
Yeah, I think Eze money was there. They sold players, didn't they? They had money coming in, and they probably had to with the European competition. We've seen it recently. With every game they have played, they've struggled, and he doesn't like to change the team. And for him to call out the board there in that manner does feel like a big shout.
And his contract's up in the summer as well. So is the issue going to be keeping him happy, because there's a lot of eyes on what he's doing well?
He's in a great position. What he's done here is truly incredible. Winning the cup, European football for the first time. So he's in a strong position, and when you're in a strong position, I think you can do that. He needs more players if they're going to compete on 2 fronts.
Guys, well, it's been fun in the Sunday sunshine today with you two, but unfortunately that's all that we've got time for. Sort of, what do you mean?
Well, it's not much sunshine, is it?
Well, there was earlier. But guys, you can go off and have a nice Sunday roast now. Enjoy your afternoon. There's a big...
Manchester United claimed a crucial 2-1 victory over Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park, a win built on resilience, smart adjustments, and clinical second-half finishing. The match began with Palace in full control, pressing aggressively and creating the better chances. Their dominance paid off in the 36th minute when Jean-Philippe Mateta converted a retaken penalty to give the hosts a deserved lead. United looked flat and disjointed in the first half, struggling to progress the ball or handle Palace's intensity. Everything changed after the break. United returned with greater urgency, tightening their midfield and pressing more intelligently. This shift immediately put Palace under pressure. In the 54th minute, Joshua Zirkzee equalized with a composed low finish after United capitalized on a well-worked set-piece situation. Just 9 minutes later, another rehearsed routine paid off as Mason Mount fired in the winner through a crowded box. From there, United managed the game efficiently, with renewed defensive discipline and smart substitutions helping them protect the lead. The comeback highlighted not just character, but tactical maturity, something United have lacked in recent away matches. In the end, it was the perfect blend of determination, structure, and decisive finishing that secured all 3 points.